name's Colin Coates and I work for a company called Dunstan Thomas. I'm called a senior consultant here, so that represents the fact that I've got more than 20 years of experience in software engineering. We're specifically talking about Enterprise Architect code generation facilities today. Enterprise Architect has this facility to be able to reverse engineer actually a number of different programming languages. So the commonly asked for ones for us are C, C++, Java and C#. I had some requirements which are actually for a media player, so something like an Android phone or maybe an iPod or something like that. And you can see that the player needs to be able to play back various types of media, including both movies and things like MP3. Okay, so I've got all my requirements there. So let's have a look at the class diagram here. So we've got the general idea that the media player has a catalogue, the list of various media that it contains. And then there are different kinds of media that we can play back. Okay, so there's audio, there are movies, gallery, and also a book. And all of these different media items are related to the concept of a person. Obviously, a book has an author, a movie will have actors, right? So all of these things are people with first names, last names, but the role that they play in each of these relationships is different. Okay, so all of that's been modelled as a UML class diagram. So what reverse engineering enables those guys to do is to reverse engineer what they already have and create some simple UML diagrams, normally class diagrams, which can then be massaged a bit and then a report can be run on the model, and that gives you like a first cut of design documentation in a very quick period of time. Then the second scenario is model-driven architecture. So what they want to do is focus on doing UML modeling and then generating the code as much as possible directly from the model, you know, pushing a button to get the code rather than necessarily having to write it all themselves. So for those people, they're still interested in reverse engineering because they probably need to interface to some kind of software development kit or third-party libraries or APIs. So the reverse engineering, they can point the reverse engineering tool at those code libraries, reverse engineer them into a model, and then go on to use them in their own modeling. People who are interested in code generation from a UML model are typically interested in one of two things. Either they're interested in doing some basic class modeling, adding attributes and operations to those classes, and then being able to generate code frames. So this is what you would get if you just drew a UML class diagram with associations between the classes, handed it off to a regular software engineer and said just implement that. Then a tool like Spark's Enterprise Architect can, through its code generation, basically produce that code frame, which would normally just be done entirely manually. And that saves a lot of time and effort. And it also means that the software engineer can focus on the much more interesting bit, which is really to provide the detailed behavior in the operations for those classes. That's one use of code generation. The other use of code generation is where people are interested in something called model-driven architecture. So they're not just intending to create code frames, but ideally what they want to do is use activity diagrams or much more commonly state charts or state machines, and to really dictate the entire behavior of the software at the modeling level. Again, Enterprise Architect has got some functionality to do this. So if you create a class and you add a state machine to that class, then you can actually generate code which isn't just attributes and operations, but also the behavior for that class as dictated by the state machine. So I need to set up a new transformation. This time it's going to be to Java. Again, I'm going to put this into the platform specific area. Again, I can go into the classes package for the Java. I'll auto-generate those files into my demo area. And there you go, Java code from the same model. If you want to generate code frames direct from your model, there's two kinds of things you might be concerned about. One of them is whether the programming language that you actually want to target is currently supported by the tool. Now, the nice thing about Enterprise Architect is that they give you, out of the box, their genuine code generation templates. So it means you don't have to start from scratch like many other products. You can just say, well, basically I'm happy with the code generation as it is, but I just want to massage it a little, and you can do that very easily. It's really good to see a vendor who's carrying on developing their product and really taking an interest in it.